Dragons are everywhere in the media, and though Yokai-Watch has an assortment of them, the one we'll be looking at is the one introduced in Yokai-Watch 2, Draaagin. Draaagin is a B-rank ice attribute dragon yokai that hails from the Slippery tribe, whose favorite fruit is sweets. His blurb reads, a desperately indecisive dragon. Don't expect that anything at all will get done when he's around. In Yokai-Watch 2, after encountering him in the Excellent Tower, he can be found under cars, vending machines in downtown Springdale, and Paradise Springs. He is also required in a baffleboard for a treasure hunter's quest in the abandoned tunnel east. In Yokai-Watch 3, he can be found in Meadowbrook Farm and Bada Bing Tower. Draagin's English name is a combination of the word dragon and dragging or dragon, with an extra A for added thought or delays in speech. Draagin's Japanese name Horyu is a visual pun on Horyu, postponing, second guessing, using the second kanji pronunciation to make it a homophone with Ryu, or dragon. His Spanish name is Vacilagón, which is a combination of the verb vacular, or in English facilitate, which means alternate or waver between different options or actions, to be indecisive, and El Dragón, which in English is dragon. His Italian name, which I'm sorry if I butcher this, is Indicio Drago, which is a combination of the adjective indicia or indecisive and drago, which means dragon. Lastly, his French name, Draaconfuse, which is a combination of the noun confuse or confusion, which means confusion, and Dracon, which, well, is obvious what it means. It's dragon. Alright, now let's get on to the appearance. Draagin's appearance at first seems just like regular dragon, but looking at Draagin's design, unlike Eldorado Jr. and the Millennium Falcon, this dragon's design is much more common with yokai like Dragon Lord, Wyvern King, Mython, and Siryu, both the shadow side and the other variant. Draagin's appearance is based on Eastern, Oriental, or Chinese dragons. Unlike Western dragons where they resemble giant winged sauropods with 4 legs and a pair of wings, often looking like giant lizards, Eastern/Chinese dragons are wingless, serpentine creatures that are made up of 9 animals. The antlers of a deer, the head of a camel, the eyes of a demon, the neck of a snake, the belly of a clam, the scales of a carp, the claws of an eagle, the paws of a tiger, and the ears of an ox. To be honest, I didn't really know ox had ears. This is just new to me. I feel like a fool learning this. These dragons don't typically breathe fire unless they're casted from the heavens, and are seen as prosperous, auspicious, benevolent protectors that are seen of the cause of various weather changes that are thrived upon during the wet seasons. Seen as deities and worshipped, if in a temper, they would conjure up severe flooding and heavy winds, in which case people would burn incense and sacrifice plates of food like rice wraps to appease the dragons. In fact, whenever storms were summoned and a tornado formed, people would call it Long Jung Fang, or Dragon Twisting Wind. Chinese dragons are part of the harmonious forces yin and yang, which play a large part in Chinese philosophy. Dragons are classified as yang and considered bright, masculine, and solar. The phoenix is yin, which is dark, feminine, and lunar. At Chinese weddings, these two creatures appear together as symbols of harmony. For now, all we know is that there are 12 types of Eastern dragons. They are Fuqianlong, the Chinese dragon of hidden treasures, and the underworld dragon which guards buried treasures, both natural and man-made. Xinlong, a spiritual dragon from Chinese mythology who is the master of storms and the bringer of rain. Tianlong, sky dragon or celeste dragon, is believed to guard the palaces of the gods. They have the equivalent of the Shenlong dragons. Dragon turtles, legendary Chinese creatures that combines 2 of 4 celestial animals of Chinese mythology. The body of a turtle with a dragon's head is promoted as positive ornament in feng shui, symbolizing courage, determination, fertility, longevity, power, success, and support. Panlong is an aquatic dragon resembling the Joyalong river dragon crocodile. Quilong, curling dragon, is a member of the horned dragons, whom are considered to be the mightiest dragons across the globe. They are renowned for their physical might, which is said to exceed that of many common dragons that traverse the earth. Honglong, the zoomorphic incarnation of the Yellow Emperor of the center of the universe. The Yellow Emperor, or Yellow Deity, was conceived by the Virgin Mother Fubao, who became pregnant after seeing a yellow ray of light turning around the Northern Dipper. 24 months later, the Yellow Emperor was born and was associated with the color yellow because it's the color of the earth. Yinglong, another incarnation in the Five Emperors story and descended on King Yu, who also has to be a playable character in Warriors Orochi. Long Wang, they are the guardians of wetness in every form. Rain, river, and sea. They control one of the oceans that surround the world and have connections with the Jade Emperor, who tells them when rain is needed. Japanese dragons, what the? You just like stapled a bird onto it. Why? Vietnamese and Korean dragons. If you would like to learn more about Chinese dragons though, I have a video here in the eye, and I also have a description down below for you. Okay. Let's get into the origin. Just like there are many dragons in Yokai-Watch, there are still a lot of dragons in yokai lore, even some being part dragon for the matter. And I will say, I am so thankful that level 5 has taken into consideration to change certain appearances for dragons, because we have a lot of Eastern dragons, but because of this appearance, it was easy to find the yokai counterpart. Dragon is based on the yokai Shuseebora, or giant triton, which his name is a combination of the word shusei, which means promotion, and bora, which comes from hora, which is short for horagai, or giant triton. This is a sea snail that is believed to have lived deep in the mountains, spending their lives buried under the earth, where they grow larger and larger until 3,000 years pass, where they descend from the mountains into the valleys, causing landslides. This might tie in the word hora, as hora is a word for caves that are left behind after mudslides and avalanches. With earthquakes being quite common in Japan, and with the whole country being covered in mountains, it's easy to imagine that the new caves would be uncovered relatively frequently. The Hora shell / Hora cave pun would not be lost on clever yokai readers back in the day. The implication is that the caves were nest spots of big horagai and left behind as the tritons migrate from mountain to sea. After they spend 3,000 more years living near human villages, they finally burrow into the sea, and after 3,000 more years underwater, they transform into Mizuchi, a kind of sea dragon. Now, it is said that the flesh of the Shuseebora was said to bring a very long life to anyone who eats it. However, because of the ambiguous nature of the creature, there was no documentary evidence of this, so this was assured a rumor, but nevertheless an interesting yokai with an interesting origin. Now I hope that the media at least has something for me. This is the part where we scour throughout the internet to see if there are any other interactions of the yokai, and for this one I only found one. We all know what Pokemon is, right? If you don't, you should at least know this character. When X and Y came, though it felt like a lackluster game with the starting the fewer is better roster trend for the Pokemon, the storyline, and the villain's motives, I really can't believe that Lysander killed himself, but okay. It did have some good aspects to it, introducing Mega Evolutions that would give competitive play to Pokemon who you wouldn't see in any other generation, having some entertaining music that would make me want to jump off my chair like the gym leader battle music, and I think that was really all. And besides the designs of certain Pokemon, making another counterbalance for Dragon Pokemon being fairy typing. At this point, dragons were scared of keys. Freaking keys! Speaking of dragons, by the way, let's talk about the one thing in the media I found that represents the Shuseebora: Gumi, Sliggoo, and Goodra. Gumi and Sliggoo are soft tissue Pokemon that look like Slug and Snail, while Goodra is a dragon Pokemon. So we might have a little bit of evidence that there may be a slight connection. Another thing though might be the moveset with Gumi and Sliggoo learning TM22 Rock Slide, a move that targets all and has a 30% chance for flinching, but also can destroy certain natural objects found in the background of battles. Now, the natural objects presented were usually trees to obtain berries, but this also might connect with how the giant triton can cause earthquakes when moving, which in turn makes caves. This goes in a bit more depth with Goodra when you realize that not only can it learn TR10 earthquake, but how it evolves is through rainy weather. Though it would have been cooler if the evolution line could learn dive, or you could use Sliggoo underwater to turn them into Goodra. But this was the only example I found in the media for the Shuseebora, and hey, it's at least something. To conclude, even though we found one iteration of this origin in the media, it's still amazing to see how Level 5 and this company focus and harness on the aspects of this yokai. This was the Yokai Advisor, starting with excellence, signing out. And just for a pleasant surprise, next week's origin video is...
よくも今まであの方のそばにいられたものだ。だが最後に一つだけ意外なことがあったとあの方がおっしゃっていたぞ。よもや己の暴走で自滅するほどの愚か者だったとはな。
Yeah, we're finally doing it.